Belief doesn't just happen because you hang something up on a wall. All right? Comes from in here, believing that things can get better, that I can get better, that we will get better.
Hello friends, and welcome to my commentary corner. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back because I love having you in my corner. And today I wanted to talk about, well, maybe kind of argue that I feel like TV, movies, media in general has become far too cynical, and why those optimistic characters that we see in some of our favorite TV shows just keep us coming back for more and more, and why they're so magnetic to us. When it comes to optimistic characters, I'm sure that you already have a few of your favorite sitcoms, TV shows, movies that are going through your head right now, and those characters that just give you a warm and fuzzy feeling inside. It's a very feel-good character, and they always manage to put a smile on your face whenever you see them. And I think that this optimistic archetype is amazing when it's written well. And I honestly feel like it nods to just a much bigger need that we as a society are searching for and craving, and don't even really realize it, because it offers such a different mindset and perspective. They have the power to honestly change an entire room, transform people, create emotional balance for a TV show or a movie. I mean, they are revolutionary, and I'm going to talk about just a few of the characters that I love and hold near and dear to my heart, and we're going to jump into it. I'm trying to think if I should tell you the characters up front, or if I should just go through show by show. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go through show by show and introduce them that way to create a little bit of tension, I guess. I don't know. Patience is a virtue. But no, so the first one being the tried and true Bob's Burgers, our lovely Linda Belcher. She is our leading lady in many things, probably the main one being her optimistic nature. It is to a stubborn degree that she just will see the good in things and choose to believe that the best is yet to come, basically. I've talked about this so many times, so I feel like I don't want to spend too much time on her. But of course, I have to give her spotlight because Bob's Burgers it's my baby. But I think the thing about Linda is that she's not, well, she definitely has some naive moments, but she's not dumb. I know she has some interesting, just some things that she doesn't understand from time to time or whatever, so it can come off as a bit airheaded, I guess. But I don't think that she's dumb. I don't think that she's foolish. She sees the circumstances in front of her and that they're not ideal, especially when it comes to just their restaurant, just family and all of that. She knows that they're not perfect. However, I think she chooses not to allow those circumstances to dictate how she's gonna feel about her life. Though she knows she probably could have had a better life if she chose to invest her money that she saved up into real estate and gone with the safe route.
Safest place is probably real estate. Buy a condo or
She knows that she wouldn't have enjoyed that and rather wanted to go for her passion, her dream, her, just a different kind of life for her and her husband. And I don't think that she regrets it one bit, of course. But honestly, much like her husband, I think they both subscribe to a very simple life. I don't think that that means that they don't want more for themselves or for their family. I do think that they want to grow, but if it comes at the expense of them being connected and having intimacy with each other and with their kids, I don't think that they want it. Linda maybe a bit more than Bob, because Bob is definitely like very foundational man and he just wants burgers, whereas I feel like Linda would and has pushed for more.
You're gonna make great food, Bob. You're gonna make people happy, and I want in.
And I think that in and of itself is just good for their marriage. She's the idea girl. She's the spontaneous spark that he needs to really take risks, which you kind of have to do in any business in order to grow. But ultimately, she does it with patience. She doesn't force it because she knows her husband, and she knows that if she pushes, it's not going to happen. And, ladies out there or men or whatever, like just for your significant other, that it's not an effective thing to try and force them into something. You can't push them into something. Or if you do, then you realize that was not a great idea and how to go about that, because they're a person with their own agency and will and desires and all kinds of reasons why they may or may not be moving in a certain direction. So we have to have grace with people, patience. But Linda, of course, as always, is just that optimistic, positive balance for Bob and for their business, and it's just refreshing to see her operate.
Mr. Mopey, what was that thing you told me your mother used to say? Hope and grit keeps you out of the you-know-what.
Yeah, she did say that. I think she thought that was very edgy.
Well, it's true, too. Come on, come to bed. Tomorrow the hall will get all filled up and we'll sell 1 million burgers.
The next character that came to mind was Leslie Knope. And of course, she is from Parks and Recreation. On this channel, I've talked mainly about Bob's Burgers, but I'm expanding into just different shows and movies and such. I'm really excited to talk about them. So anyways, Parks and Rec. Let's get back on track. Leslie is a rare gem in her world, in Pawnee and all of that.
I'm gonna breakdance.
Woo!
Hey! Leslie? Coming!
She is surrounded by people who straight up just do not care about pretty much anyone but themselves for the most part. Definitely don't care about their jobs or anything like that.
There's a sign at Ramsett Park that says, "Do not drink the sprinkler water." So I made sun tea with it, and now I have an infection. Sir, are you listening to me, sir? Sir, are you aware?
And she's one of the few people who puts her entire self into something because she wants to make a difference and she wants to make a change. And that's why she's in, a political position and all of that, which is a rarity, unfortunately. And I don't discuss politics and all that kind of stuff. But of course, this show with Parks and Rec deals with that. And so if it were a perfect world, anyone who got into political positions would have that heart and have that mindset and perspective. And they don't, unfortunately. But Leslie, she's one of the good ones.
Ben and I are a power couple, like the Roosevelts or the Clintons. I've got a big meeting here. I'm here to present my application for the Federal Riverbed Preservation Grant.
Oh, well, most people just mail their applications in.
I'm not most people.
She cares. Maybe too much. I don't know. Maybe it feels like too much because everyone else around her cares so little, so then it feels like extra. But even with the red tape and the frustrating processes that you run up against in political spaces, the bureaucracy of it all, she doesn't let her get her down. She finds a loophole. She finds a way to make stuff work and to reach people. And she's so good at being herself, I guess, that, she's even touched the stubborn libertarian heart of Ron Swanson.
As your self-appointed emotional guardian, it is my duty to love and support you. Plus, this is a big deal. You shouldn't be there alone.
You're not taking no for an answer, are you?
Oh, I forgot to sing you my Merry Congratulations Christmas Carol. Jingle bells, jingle yay, jingle good for you.
Get out.
Yep.
And that is saying something, because that man, he quite literally, if you know anything about Parks and Rec, got into a government space simply because he wanted to basically tear it down from the inside out. So there's that. And she got him to care just a little bit. And not even really about, politics and all of that, but just about people in general. And it's really cool to see him transform the other people in their office. She created an environment for warmth, and she changed, I feel like, just the emotional heart of that show. And it's cool to see like how infectious she is. I want to talk so much more about Parks and Rec, so I'll have to do that. If you guys are interested in hearing more about that, definitely let me know down in the comments. But we're going to move on to the next character and show, which is Ted Lasso. Of course, the name of the show and the character. Oh my gosh. What's not to love about this show or the man? My goodness, he is so inspiring. It is just, you question yourself as a person when you watch how he moves. He is a believer to like a crazy degree. The thing about Ted is that he sees the circumstances and he is a pro at making lemonade from his lemons. He, of course, is an American football coach put into a football coach in England, and he doesn't know the first thing about soccer. And yet he goes, and he not only goes, but he learns everything that there is to know about this sport so that he can perform well. He knows that he's not really supposed to be there because he's not, if you, spoiler for the show, if you didn't know, like this is all basically to destroy this team. And so they brought in someone who didn't know the first thing about the sport so that the team would just naturally fall apart. And jokes on them because he turned them into winners.
All we need to win are the fellas in this room right now. And all you fellas need to do is believe it.
Yes, in actuality, they won games and stayed in the Premier League and all of that. I can't remember like all of the specifics of it, but he made them into winners in that sense and in the game. However, he also made them winners just in life, in how they treat each other as teammates and as people. He got them to believe in something bigger than themselves.
It's just a sign. Belief doesn't just happen because you hang something up on a wall. All all right? Comes from in here. Only problem is we all got so much junk floating through us. A lot of times we end up getting in our own way. The belief that I matter, you know, regardless of what I do or don't achieve.
His heart for individuals is so evident, it's like painful. Or like, oh my gosh, this is how all people should be, and this is how all people should treat each other. And I think it's funny because like he does all of this through like sheer encouragement and hope.
Or what about the belief of hope? That's what I want to mess with. Believing that things can get better, that I can get better, that we will get better.
I think we underestimate just how powerful those things are. And the thing is, not everything worked out for them. They lost games, they lost a spot in the Premier League, if I remember correctly. Sorry if these are spoilers, but it's been out for a while, so I'm sorry. But, you know, he ended up, you know, getting a divorce, and that didn't work out, and really struggled with his mental health after that, and lost some of his hope and some of his spark. But even through that, there was good and there was purpose in all of it. And he was able to make such a difference just with his attitude and with his perspective. I mean, he changed. If you're not familiar with the show, this isn't going to mean much to you. But if you are familiar with it, that man changed Nate's heart. His narcissistic and selfish, stubborn heart. He changed that man's mind, and he did not deserve it. Not at all. I mean, with the way that he treated Ted for no reason. I mean, he just took it upon himself to just try and ruin this man. And Ted still treated him with kindness and with friendship.
Do you have any response to the comments made earlier today by your former assistant coach, Nathan Shelley?
I mean, he came and got him, didn't he? No doubt about that. Hey, but that's Nate the Great for you. You know, he's the same way on the pitch. You know, he'll find the tiniest little weakness in a team and just want to attack that. I mean, he's a junkyard dog, man. And smart. They're real lucky to have him over there at West Ham. I wish him the best of luck.
And believed that there was still good in him. And it's like, wow. And because he believed in him and his goodness, Nate then believed that maybe there is still good in me. Because he recognized, like, I'm not being a good man right now. And so that was what that was. But just that hope, it made a difference. It made all of the difference. And I've watched the show a couple times already, but I would watch it again and again and again because it's just that impactful. And I hope that I can convince you to watch it if you haven't seen it. Of course, it's on Apple TV, so it's not like terribly accessible. I feel like that's not necessarily a streaming service that most have. But if you ever get the chance, you gotta do it. And then finally, we're gonna move into the last character. This one is gonna come kind of out of left field, but he's on my mind because I recently watched the movies again, and they are probably my favorite comfort movies, dare I say. Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if you were expecting that at all. I wasn't either, but he came to mind, and I was like, I gotta pay some respects to my boy. I feel like I don't even have to say a whole lot about him other than he made the Dragon Warrior.
The universe has brought us the Dragon Warrior.
What? 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 What?
And I feel like that should be enough. But that, of course, being one of the main things about him, because he wasn't physically around in the movies. See, the thing is, that's crazy, because he was only around in the first movie. He wasn't even there for half the movie. He was gone by, like, the first third. And, sorry, spoiler, he done ascended into the petals. And yet he still made such an impact. And of course, he showed up, a little bit in like spirit form and all of that. But, oh my gosh, even in the time that he was there, he completely turned everything on its head. He chose someone for the Dragon Warrior position. Makes it sound like just working in an office. But he chose the least likely individual for this role. Everyone was upset about it. Kind of understandably so. It's funny that they specifically chose a panda to be the character to do this, because if you've seen videos of pandas and if you know anything about them, they're just really incompetent as animals. Like, I don't really understand how they're still functioning in the wild and surviving, because, yeah, are they endangered? Is that false news? Is that misinformation? I feel like I remember hearing that at one point, and it wouldn't surprise me because they just don't have any, like, self-preservation. They're just really clumsy and all of that. But, okay, I hope you don't hear the train coming. If you do, I apologize, but we're gonna keep on trucking. I think it's just interesting because he's the one who was able to see potential in a place place where it seemed that there was none, basically, where it was severely lacking. I mean, this man really taught a panda to believe in himself.
Quit, don't quit. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
And that is a feat, you know, in their world and in the animal kingdom. It's like, wow, okay. He taught Shifu, his student and the master for the Furious Five, that things are not always as they appear. Shifu, I think from the beginning, has always found, I don't know, just a pride in his own abilities and feels like he feels like he can see it all and he knows what's going on.
The panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Having Oogway as his master helped him to slow down and to observe the people around him, the circumstances, because he was prone to just panicking. I mean, he was the one who let freaking Tai Lung out of prison because he panicked about the news that he heard and made it happen because he was worried. He allowed that worry to cloud his judgment. And I mean, even from the beginning, you know, him training Tai Lung and just putting all of these dreams into his head that he's gonna be the dragon warrior. And I don't know if it was his place to do that, to make it sound so sure. I don't know what the conversations were between these two, but he made it really seem like he was making it sound so certain that this was going to happen for him when, you know, that wasn't his choice to make. And yet he felt like he could see it and he didn't have the judgment necessary to see maybe some of the negative tendencies in his student, some of the red flags. He chose to ignore them because he was strong and he was capable and all of that. So he just decided, well, you know what, those don't matter. But Oogway saw them and he thought they matter enough. That is not the makings of a person who's supposed to protect the valley and protect the people and all of that.
He wanted the dragon scroll, but Oogway saw darkness in his heart and refused. Outraged, Tai Lung laid waste to the valley.
And so he taught his student to trust when he couldn't see how things were going to work out.
If you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe.
And it's just funny how from this decision that Oogway made that no one understood, everyone was transformed because of it. Po believed in himself and learned that even the least likely of us can be something great. Shifu could take the time to recognize greatness in the underdog and not the obvious pick, you know. He needed to learn some patience and he needed to learn some discernment. The students, they learned that, well, this may not feel very fair because we trained for this our entire lives and then this joke could just come in and he takes this title, like what the heck. But they learned some sacrifice in that and how to work as a team, really. All of this to say, I do feel like just in media in general, we have very much celebrated a lot of cynicism, the anti-hero, I don't know, just a tainted protagonist. But I feel like as a people, we're really craving more of that hope. We're craving purpose. We're craving just good in general. I think that's why, you know, these feel-good shows, these feel-good characters, they're just so refreshing to see and to watch. And we keep coming back to them because it reminds us of the good out there and really, truly our potential to be good and what we want to be, that we're able to change, that we don't have to stay stuck in our negative patterns and in cycles and habits and all of that. They're a great reminder. And I feel like these characters honestly kind of carry these shows sometimes. They're great shows in and of themselves, but they just make it like that much better, you know? But that's all that I wanted to talk about today. I love, if you haven't noticed, any kind of movie, TV show that is feel good, just makes me feel something. They have a special place in my heart, and I wanted to share about it and share about these optimistic characters who really changed the game in media and in our lives, honestly. You're so loud, stop! You want to know what's funny is that this train is passing by. You may not even be able to hear it, but it's like grating on my ears. And there hasn't been a train the whole day until I decided to film. I swear it will be the death of me. I'm like, see now, you're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. Okay, let me calm down. I can't be mad at a train. Okay. But anyways, I'm sure that you can think of many other characters, TV shows that are just feel good and have really impacted you, and you should share about them in the comments. I would love to talk about it with you guys more. If you guys have any other topics, TV shows, movies, ideas that you would like to hear me talk about, also put that down in the comments. I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button for me and hit that subscribe button so that you can see the alerts for these videos and so that you can see the space a whole lot more. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye!